level of accountability. So that's what this is about. It's not complicated. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats. But this is the difference. This is the difference between what's happening in Texas and what's happening here in California. We didn't receive a phone call from the president of the United States to then quietly go in the back room and start drawing maps and legislatively try to jam them through against the consent of the people. We're doing precisely the opposite. We're working through a very transparent, temporary, and public process. We're putting the maps on the ballot, and we're giving the power to the people. This will be the first redistricting that's ever done that. That's the difference. We'll be asking for the people on November 4th, a special election, coinciding with a lot of local municipal elections, to provide a temporary pathway for congressional maps. We will affirm our commitment to the state independent redistricting after the 2030 census, but we're asking the voters for their consent to do midterm redistricting in 2026, 2028, and 2030 for the congressional maps to respond to what's happening in Texas, to respond what Trump is trying to excite.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
Wall Street's main indexes finished essentially flat Thursday, but the S&P 500 edged up to hit its third straight record closing high. It followed a report from the Labor Department that showed producer price inflation increased the most in 3 years. That dampened expectations of potential interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. Recent data reflecting labor market weakness and a moderate rise in consumer prices had strengthened expectations that the central bank could lower interest rates next month. Traders are still fully pricing in a 0.25 percentage point cut in September, but are less certain on the path beyond that. Dean Smith, chief strategist and portfolio manager with Folio Beyond, blames the jump in prices on President Donald Trump's trade policies.
I think we're really starting to see the effects of the tariffs push their way through the supply chains. And this is going to continue, in my view. We're just at the starting point of this race, and the impact of the tariffs are going to be with us for quite a while. So get used to seeing higher inflation prints.
Stocks on the move included Deere. The farm equipment company's shares fell nearly 7% after it reported a lower quarterly profit and tightened its annual profit forecast. And shares of Tapestry plunged close to 16% after the Coach handbag maker forecast annual profit below estimates. Both companies warned of tariffs impacting their businesses.
All right, let's head into our Friday, and we're continuing to monitor a frontal boundary, which is down to the south. This was really responsible for some widespread showers and storms earlier this week, actually delaying a Major League Baseball game in New York, Yankees versus Twins. That eventually got kicked off, but that is the front that is responsible for that. So heading into Friday, that shower and thunderstorm potential is still possible, but not quite as widespread as it was. As we take a look at the 3-day rainfall forecast, again, most of the rain will be found through the mid-Atlantic states, D.C., the Delmarva Peninsula, maybe the Cape, and along the coasts of Maine, farther north and west towards the eastern Great Lakes. Over the next 3 days, it is quiet. We still have some moderate heat concerns across parts of the region. Temperatures on Friday will be into the 80s, but the feels-like temps farther south from Philadelphia to D.C. and west to Charleston, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, warming into the low and mid-90s. Have a good one.
All right, here's a look at your weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Abundant sunshine with temperatures today in the upper 80s. Clear skies during the evening, giving way to a few clouds and fog after midnight. Lows in the low 60s. Saturday, mostly sunny, upper 80s. Sunday, mostly cloudy, mid 80s. Monday, partly cloudy, low 80s. Tuesday, showers with temperatures in the upper 70s. Meadville this morning's at 61 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 59. Titusville, 56. Franklin this morning, 56. Oil City, 56 degrees here at 7:13. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel.
Hello, Friday. It's good to see you. Today's gonna be a good day. Thanks for starting your Friday with Luke and Amy on the Morning Drill. Hello, Friday. It's good to see you. Today's gonna be a good day. Thanks for starting your Friday with Luke and Amy on the Morning Drill.
All right, happy Friday. It is good to see you. Thanks for being with us here this morning, and excited to be here. Got the weekend upon us and a lot going on. Crawford County Fair.
Oh, my.
What a great fair, huh?
Yeah.
It's just about here. Crawford Gives, today the final day. They had a little tiny glitch earlier in the week, but it's nice to see them back up and running. And if you look at where Crawford Gives stands as of right now, here this morning, Crawford Gives, no, that's not it. Where'd it go? Hold on. I was all ready for the fair, so.
Sorry.
Okay, Crawford Gives. Ready for this? It's a big amount. I know Christian's trying to hit a million, but this is still extremely impressive.
Oh, wow.
$763,418.67. That's 4,399 gifts spread out to 187 nonprofits here this morning. So I always feel bad for those ones that have a couple. Maybe they don't market themselves like some of the others, but if you get a chance, kind of go through. It's kind of neat to see. Maybe you don't recognize one of these organizations. You can click on the little I tab and get information about them, and you learn something. So, it's great if you get the opportunity to go and do that. We can let you know here who's in the hunt. I just clicked on one. Like, hey, this one organization, almost $2,000 received in gifts.
Great,
awesome. So the other thing that's kind of fun that makes it neat when you go to this site is they've got the top donation totals and top gift counts. Center for Family Services has received $60,465 so far. They're in top spot in terms of donation. Followed right behind them by another one that just every year seems to do really well with this. The Academy Theater, bringing in $43,688.
That's phenomenal.
And then you got the Meadville Area Recreation Foundation, Meadville Area Free Clinic, the Winds Project, Westbury Women's Services, Foundation for Sustainable Forests. I think the forests do a good job sustaining themselves. It's usually the humans that come in
we're
and
the
interfere with that,
problem.
right?
Yeah.
Ernst Trail, French Creek recreational trails on the list, and Meadville Public Library in there. Meadville Public Library, by the way, has received the most gifts with 136. Followed by Tamarack Wildlife, Academy Theater, Ernst Trail, Women's Services, Common Roots, Crawford County Historical Society, Center for Family Services, Meadville Area Free Clinic, Foundation for Sustainable Forests. So not always your top donation, person is the top gifts. Mm-hmm. That's not always the case. You might have somebody who receives more gifts, but they're maybe smaller amounts, whereas somebody is giving a larger amount to an organization. So
yeah.
Anyhow, as of today, and I think today is it, right? You've got the rest of the day here. $763,418. No, but now we're at $496. See, you just refresh. You can sit here all day and just refresh and keep up with everything.
Refresh.
Yep. All right. Crawford County Fair?
Crawford County Fair.
Crawford County Fair. It's great. If you go to CrawfordCountyFairPA.com, CrawfordCountyFairPA.com, you're going to get all the information that you want, and we'll go through the daily fair schedule. Okay, I can smell the food already. Mm-hmm. Can you? Mm-hmm. Or is that the barn? I may have stepped in something this morning, but anyways, we're okay. Friday, August 15th. That's today. Light horse and pony check-ins at Gate 2 from 10 to 7 p.m. and competitive exhibit check-in at the exhibit buildings from 5 to 8 this evening. Okay. Saturday. This is for everybody, right? Saturday, free gate admission. Animal check-ins will continue, but from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m., competitive exhibit check-in. 10 a.m., 4-H robotics exhibition. That's the tent near Rabbit and Poultry Barn. 11 a.m., Echo Valley Fiddle Contest registration on the West End stage. Echo Valley, the very good group. Mm-hmm. At noon tomorrow, judging of competitive exhibits will reopen after judging. 12 to 4:30, Echo Valley Fiddle Contest. 1 p.m., harness racing. 1 to 7 tomorrow, Home Show Building Number 1 reopens after judging. 2 to 4, meet the Fair Queen contestants at the Fair Office Pavilion. 4 to 8, rides on the Midway taking place. 5:30, baked goods auction. 7 o'clock, opening ceremonies, Friend of Fair Award, presentation of the Fair Queen candidates, and crowning of the Queen. That's all happening tomorrow. There's a lot going on.
All right.
Sunday, August 17th, 9 a.m., Vesper Services, New Beginnings in the Youth Show Arena. 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. We got the Sportsman exhibit and Home Show buildings. Noon, 4-H, FFA Rabbits, the showmanship and fitting judging. At noon, 4-H, FFA Poultry showmanship and fitting judging. At noon, meet the Fair Queen. And that will be to be announced, the location there. At 1 p.m., harness racing grandstands. 1, the Zerbini Family Circus. Also at 1, Tinsmith near the fair office. 1 to 9, rides on the Midway. 1 to 9, bingo at the American Legion. That's always busy too. Mm-hmm. The bingo games, and it's hard not to want to just kind of stop off and play a game or two. 3:30, the Open and 4-H FFA judging at the Rabbit Barn. 3:30, driving games, riding game classes, jackpots, live music, wherever worship on the West End stage from 5:30 to 6:30, 6 to 9, garden tractor pull, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. live music. Holtman and Schwartz, the West End stage, 7:30, 4-H dairy opening ceremonies, and Zerbini Family Circus. So,
all right.
Yeah, that's Saturday and Sunday at the fair. And then you get into Monday and all of next week. So, wow.
What's happening?
A lot going on.
Woo woo.
What else on this Friday? We... Joe Tech, we share all the positives of technology, right? and then the negatives of technology. Well, here's a negative this morning. A man was hospitalized for weeks after suffering from hallucinations after poisoning himself based on dietary advice from ChatGPT.
Oh, my Lord.
Yeah. A case study published August 5th says that a 60-year-old man decided he wanted to eliminate salt from his diet. To do so, he asked ChatGPT for an alternative to salt or sodium chloride, to which the AI chatbot suggested sodium bromide, a compound historically used in pharmaceuticals and manufacturing. Though the journal noted that the doctors were unable to review the original AI chat logs and that the bot likely suggested the substitution for another purpose, such as cleaning, the man purchased sodium bromide and used it in place of tablet salt for 3 months. So, yeah. Don't
Google it all.
No. And don't, like, I'll tell you, I've been using ChatGPT for a lot of things lately, and it's awesome. But not that. That's a call to your doctor's office, probably.
Exactly.
Hey, I'm finally doing what you've told me to do. I'm trying to cut out the salt. You got any suggestions for me? Or a nutritionist? By the way, there's great nutritionalists.
A lot. Oh, my gosh.
So
a lot.
You can, call an office and get like an actual outline.
From a professional.
From a
who's trained.
professional. Yes. So yesterday, Amy brought us birthdays and what we were celebrating, and not just yesterday. She actually gave us today's.
I brought us what we were celebrating today.
Yeah.
But I can redo it.
No, you're going to redo it.
Yeah, going into the weekend. Too.
And yes, also what we're going to be celebrating through the weekend outside of the Crawford County Fair.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't even put 2 and 2 together yet, but I should do that real quick. Just looking at the forecast, should be a beautiful weekend to head to the fair. Today's going to be great, even though it's not really
official,
right? Tomorrow, mostly sunny, upper 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night lows, upper 60s. Sunday, mostly cloudy, mid 80s. The Sunday night low temperatures will be in the low 60s. And then next week, there's probably going to be some days where you're going to be walking around the fair, and if you're going to be there at night, you might want to take a sweatshirt.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Isn't that great?
There you go. I know. I'm so excited.
But the weather, maybe some showers on Tuesday, but other than that, it looks like it's going to be a gorgeous week next week. So really no excuse. Get to the fair and enjoy it. It's a wonderful, wonderful time. All right. Today is the 15th day of August. And we're going to find out who is celebrating a birthday. We'll do that first before we find out what we're celebrating today and through the weekend. So what do you have for us?
Actress Deborah Messing is 57.
She was in Will and Grace, right?
Yes. Actor Anthony Anderson is 55.
He was in the first Transformers and Blackish, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry. Natasha Henstridge is 51. Actress Emily Kinney is 41.
Singer she was in The Walking Dead, I think.
Okay.
Was she Beth?
Yes. Singer and actor Joe Jonas is 36.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's a Jonas brother?
And actress Jennifer Lawrence is 35. And that is all.
Hunger Games?
Yeah. Good God.
I think all but one. All right.
Are you done?
Yeah. Happy birthday to all of them, and happy birthday to you if today happens to be your birthday from all of us here today. What are we celebrating today?
Hold on. All right. Today we celebrate Assumption of Mary Day in Spain. Today is Chant at the Moon Day.
Yes, that's what I have that on my calendar now. Chant at the Moon.
Check the Chip Day. Flooding of the Nile. Foundation of Old Panama City. Hawaiian Shirt Day. National Acadian Day, Kool-Aid Day, National Leather Craft Day, National Lemon Meringue Pie Day, National Men's Grooming Day, National No SpongeBob Day, National Relaxation Day, National Shoe Donation Day, It's hard for me because I wear mine till they're like.
I didn't want to say anything.
Done.
I noticed yesterday while I was waiting for you. You got your collection at home.
Yeah.
But I noticed you're piling up a collection in your office downstairs.
There's actually 2.
So I don't know if you're trying to trick me where, like, when you're scrambling in the morning and you're like, honey, I don't have this shoe. Up until yesterday, I thought, okay, well, then just get one. And then when I saw your collection here, I'm like...
There are 4 pair of shoes under my desk. They are the same exact shoe.
No.
There are 4.
No.
They are the same exact shoe, all the same color.
There were more than 4 yesterday. No, there were way more than 4. You had red. You had those slip-ons. You
What
had
slip-ons?
Those gray...
Oh, those were for painting.
It doesn't matter. They're a pair of shoes. You had this collection of shoes. You had more than 4. It was way more than 4.
Do you want to know what we're celebrating tomorrow?
What's the Nile thing again?
Flooding of.
Oh, it sounds like...
Denial. Mm-hmm.
No. It sounds like it should be the sequel to Romancing the Stone.
Oh. Jewel of
the sequel was Jewel of the Nile. This is...
Flooding
of the Nile, yeah. For some reason, I keep thinking Jewel of the Nile, but...
All right, are we moving on to tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay, great. Bennington Battle Day, International Geocaching Day, International Homeless Animals Day, National Airborne Day, National Authenticity Day, National Backflow Prevention Day, National Energy Multiplier Day, National Independent Worker Day, National Roller Coaster Day, National Rum Day, National Telejoke Day, National Work From Home for Wellness Day, Parsi New Year, St. Roch's Day, World Honeybee Day, National Heritage Week, and then tomorrow we would celebrate Kathy Lee Gifford's birthday, Madonna's birthday, and that's the only person I know.
I just saw something the other day, earlier this week, about Kathy Lee Gifford. I think it's been 10 years since her husband Frank passed away.
Gotcha.
And she still struggles with that.
Yeah.
I was reading some of the story.
Okay, are we ready for Sunday?
Sure, honey. Thanks.
Okay.
Yes.
It's Baby Boomers Recognition Day, Black Cat Appreciation Day, Indonesia Independence Day, National I Love My Feet Day, National Massachusetts Day, National Nonprofit Day, National Workers' Comp Adjuster Day, National Thrift Shop Day, Made in the Philippines Product Week, and Mae West's birthday, Robert De Niro's birthday.
Oh, all right.
There you go.
Happy birthday. All right. Did you find out what you're celebrating?
Mm-mm.
No.
Nope.
I guess I'll chant. Is it Chant at the Moon tonight? I might have to do that all weekend. I don't know if there's anything else on the
There's
list.
a rum, something.
Okay.
You can give away some shoes.
I could give away your shoes.
No.
You wouldn't even know they were gone.
No.
Listen, I have shoes. My problem is, it looks like I have a lot because I pile them up because I don't have a place to put them right now. So it looks like I've got a lot of shoes. Would you say I have a lot, or just?
You have a lot,
but not like what you have.
No.
And it just, I think for me, it looks like I have a lot because I also have shoes that I've blown out or the ripping apart or whatever that I haven't thrown away. So they're kind of stacked up too.
Okay. Am I ripping on your shoes?
No. I just think I'm almost half tempted to send you down to your office and actually count, because you said 4. There's more than 4.
Okay.
And are you hiding somewhere else down there?
No.
Where are you hiding them?
There's a closet, but they're all broken, and I in my head.
How many do you have in there?
Like a couple.
What's a couple?
I don't know. I just need to find there's I love them, and I want some similar to them.
So you're holding on to them so you can see if
I can search if I can find some.
Right. All right. Well, that's all right. I'm not going to get
That's
into
a whole nother.
Yeah. But notice I didn't say anything to you yesterday, but I was noticing. So, paying attention. We've got, this is exciting. We've got the latest headlines heading your way. We're going to find out what's going on in the world of business. Got some business headlines for you here this morning. Got that regional forecast. We'll let you know what's happening here in Northwest Pennsylvania as well. Third hour of the program, Emily Altomare from the Oil Region Alliance will be with us. Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson will be with us. Looking forward to that. So, great way to wrap things up for the week here. Get you ready for the weekend. This is the Morning Drill. Happy Friday, everybody.
Sun jumps up just like a spark. Coffee brews, I'm ready to embark. Screen lights up there, they are again.
To meet fire with fire. And we've got to be held to a higher level of accountability. So that's what this is about. It's not complicated. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats. But this is the difference. This is the difference between what's happening in Texas and what's happening here in California. We didn't receive a phone call from the president of the United States to then quietly go in the back room and start drawing maps and legislatively try to jam them through against the consent of the people. We're doing precisely the opposite. We're working through a very transparent, temporary, and public process. We're putting the maps on the ballot, and we're giving the power to the people. This will be the first redistricting that's ever done that. That's the difference. We'll be asking for the people on November 4th, a special election, coinciding with a lot of local municipal elections, to provide a temporary pathway for congressional maps. We will affirm our commitment to the state independent redistricting after the 2030 census, but we're asking the voters for their consent to do midterm redistricting in 2026, 2028, and 2030 for the congressional maps to respond to what's happening in Texas, to respond what Trump is trying to excite.
Swooping in to save you over 11 grand off your next Chevy truck. It's Community Chevrolet's newest mascot, Independence Dog.
Getting you approved by day, fighting crime by night.
With Independence Day savings running all month long, you can save more than 11 grand off MSRP on a new Silverado, or save nearly 3 grand on hot new SUVs like the Trailblazer and the Equinox. Follow Independence Dog to explosive savings this month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more, and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old. So it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at soundedouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom. Ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place. And now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
Wall Street's main indexes finished essentially flat Thursday, but the S&P 500 edged up to hit its third straight record closing high. It followed a report from the Labor Department that showed producer price inflation increased the most in 3 years. That dampened expectations of potential interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. Recent data reflecting labor market weakness and a moderate rise in consumer prices had strengthened expectations that the central bank could lower interest rates next month. Traders are still fully pricing in a 0.25 percentage point cut in September, but are less certain on the path beyond that. Dean Smith, chief strategist and portfolio manager with Folio Beyond, blames the jump in prices on President Donald Trump's trade policies.
I think we're really starting to see the effects of the tariffs push their way through the supply chains. And this is going to continue, in my view. We're just at the starting point of this race, and the impact of the tariffs are going to be with us for quite a while. So get used to seeing higher inflation prints.
Stocks on the move included Deere. The farm equipment company's shares fell nearly 7% after it reported a lower quarterly profit and tightened its annual profit forecast. And shares of Tapestry plunged close to 16% after the Coach handbag maker forecast annual profit below estimates. Both companies warned of tariffs impacting their businesses. U.S. producer prices jumped in July, marking the biggest increase in 3 years, driven by higher costs for goods and services. The jump suggests a broad pickup in inflation was imminent, potentially jeopardizing an anticipated interest rate cut from the Federal Reserve next month. One economist told Reuters, quote, "This is a kick in the teeth for anyone who thought that tariffs would not impact domestic prices in the United States economy." Adding, "This report is a strong validation of the Fed's wait-and-see stance on policy changes." The Producer Price Index, or PPI, rose 0.9% last month, after staying flat the month before, according to the Labor Department's Bureau of Labor Statistics. Economists polled by Reuters had expected only a 0.2% gain. On an annual basis, producer prices rose 3.3% through July, up from a 2.4% increase in June. Higher prices for food like fresh vegetables, meat, and eggs contributed to the gains, as did the cost of machinery. The pass-through from Trump's sweeping tariffs has so far been limited, but the PPI report supported economists' expectations for tariffs to drive up inflation in the coming months. The government on Tuesday reported a mild increase in consumer prices in July. However, rising costs for services like dental care and airline tickets caused a measure of underlying inflation to post its largest gain in 6 months. The Federal Reserve left its benchmark interest rate unchanged last month, marking the 5th straight hold since December. Traders still see about an 89% chance the Fed cuts rates at its meeting next month, down from 94% a day earlier, according to the CME FedWatch tool.
When I think about today's PPI number, in my view, that should put to rest the idea that tariffs are not going to lead to higher inflation. They clearly are. The companies have been absorbing the tariff. It's been absorbed at the port of entry, and then as it moves up through the supply chain, everybody is trying to push as much down the line as they can. It's sort of like the rat, moving through the snake. But with the tariffs, we keep feeding rats to the snake. This is going to be with us for a while. So the idea that tariffs aren't inflationary is just kind of silly on its face. They are. The other thing that's happening is in recent weeks and maybe months, people have been launching this narrative that the price increases that we're seeing aren't really inflation. This is not true inflation. No true Scotsman would call this inflation. But the reality is when prices across the board are increasing, they're increasing for food, they're increasing for energy, they're increasing for all sorts of things, services in particular, that's inflation. And I think the Fed is watching that despite, what may be some pedantic econometric measurement of inflation that doesn't quite correspond to the textbook definition. We're experiencing inflation. If you go to the store, if you try to buy insurance, any sort of expense like that real people on the ground are paying for, we're experiencing inflation. The tariffs are making it worse. Most of the action in the stock market obviously has been in AI and technology related equities. AI is a big deal. Let's not make any, bones about that. But so far, the real world impact of AI innovation seems to be in the value of AI equities. The rest of the market has kind of been treading water for a while here. And the thing that worries me about AI is trees don't grow to the sky, and they're getting pretty tall now. If you look at the AI and tech-related equities, the thing that concerns me is they are at valuations, whether you look at price to earnings, book value doesn't make a whole lot of sense in these cases, but they really seem to be growing on a trend that's going to be very difficult to sustain unless there are some amazing breakthroughs in energy generation, energy transmission. There's a lot of impediments to getting AI adopted broadly into the workplace. People are using ChatGPT to do a lot of interesting things, but it really hasn't penetrated the workplace as deeply as the valuations would seem to indicate.
Air Canada expects to cancel the majority of its estimated 700 daily flights on Friday, ahead of a planned Saturday strike by unionized flight attendants. The country's largest carrier operates over 250 aircraft on flights to more than 65 countries. The cancellations have left some 100,000 passengers scrambling to make alternative travel plans. Air Canada's Chief Operations Officer, Mark Nasser, spoke at a press conference held by executives at the airline on Thursday.
This approach will help limit the strike's impact by allowing as many customers as possible to complete their journeys. But importantly, it will also help facilitate an orderly restart, which, under the best circumstances, will take a full week to complete.
Nasser added the airline would allow travelers to change their travel plans without a fee if they so chose. The press conference ended abruptly when union members entered the Toronto hotel conference room where it was being held. The two sides are at odds over higher pay and compensation for unpaid work. Most airlines traditionally pay flight attendants only when planes are in motion. But in their latest contract negotiations, flight attendants in North America have sought compensation for hours worked, including for tasks such as boarding passengers and waiting around the airport before and between flights. The union said Air Canada had offered to begin compensating their 10,000 flight attendants for some unpaid work, which it said amounts to about 35 hours a month, but only at 50% of their hourly rate. The airline said it had offered a 38% increase in total compensation for flight attendants over 4 years, with a 25% raise in the first year. The Canadian Union of Public Employees, which represents the flight attendants, has not publicized what it has asked for in terms of higher wages. A union spokesperson said Air Canada negotiators stopped bargaining and have not responded to a proposal they made earlier this week. The airline's chief human resources officer said on Thursday the carrier was, quote, available to bargain at any time on the condition that the negotiation has substance.
Have a meeting with President
The Trump administration is talking with Intel about a U.S. government stake in the struggling company. That's according to Bloomberg late Thursday, who cited people familiar with the plan. It would mark another state intervention by U.S. President Donald Trump in an industry seen as vital to national security. Trump has already pushed for multi-billion-dollar government stakes in semiconductors and rare earths. That's included a pay-for-play deal with NVIDIA, where he'd allow that company to sell its H20 chips to China, so long as the U.S. government gets a 15% cut of advanced chip sales to the country. It's not unusual for the U.S. to take a stake in a company, but those have usually needed financial help. While Intel's stock market value has fallen and it has lost its pole position in tech, its revenue is stable at $50 billion a year. However, Intel warned last month that it may have to get out of the chip-making business if it doesn't land external customers to make chips in its factories. Bloomberg said details of any Intel stake and price are still being discussed. The report came after a meeting this week between Trump and Intel CEO Lip-Bu Tan. They met days after Trump publicly demanded that Tan resign over his investment in Chinese tech companies, some of which are linked to China's military. Intel declined to comment on the Bloomberg report, but it did say it was deeply committed to supporting Trump's efforts to strengthen U.S. tech and manufacturing leadership. White House spokesman Kush Desai said, quote, "Discussion about hypothetical deals should be regarded as speculation unless officially announced by the administration."
All right, let's head into our Friday, and we're continuing to monitor a frontal boundary which is down to the south. This was really responsible for some widespread showers and storms earlier this week, actually delaying a Major League Baseball game in New York, Yankees versus Twins. That eventually got kicked off, but that is the front that is responsible for that. So heading into Friday, that shower and thunderstorm potential is still possible, but not quite as widespread as it was. As we take a look at the 3-day rainfall forecast, again, most of the rain will be found through the mid-Atlantic states, D.C., the Delmarva Peninsula, maybe the Cape, and along the coasts of Maine, farther north and west towards the eastern Great Lakes. Over the next 3 days, it is quiet. We still have some moderate heat concerns across parts of the region. Temperatures on Friday will be into the 80s, but the feels-like temps farther south from Philadelphia to D.C. and west to Charleston, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, warming into the low and mid-90s. Have a good one.
Well, sunshine today with temperatures in the upper 80s. Clear to partly cloudy skies tonight with lows in the low 60s. Saturday, mostly sunny, upper 80s. Sunday, partly cloudy, mid 80s. Monday, partly cloudy, low 80s. And Tuesday, showers with temperatures in the upper 70s. Meadville's at 62 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 60. Titusville 59. Franklin 58. Oil City 58 degrees here at 7:51. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Glad you're with us here on a Friday. It is the 15th day of August, getting you halfway through the month and into the weekend. I mentioned the Crawford County Fair coming up starting this weekend and through next week. A lot of excitement about that. It's in the air. Crawford Gives going on for another day, today. And so far, fresh total, $765,895.66. So, yeah, getting up there. Congratulations to Christian Marr from the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation and all those involved in getting this together. And, of course, all those great organizations you can read about by going to crawfordgives.org. crawfordgives.org. Little bump in the road early in the week for him, but rebounded nicely, I think. Let's see. Major League Baseball scores from yesterday. Orioles over the Mariners 5-3. Blue Jays beat the Cubs 2-1. Guardians over the Marlins 9-4. It was the Nationals beating the Phillies 3-2. Braves over the Mets 4-3. Tigers with the win over the Twins in 11 innings 4-3. And the Diamondbacks beat the Rockies 8-2. Matchups for today and this afternoon at 2:20. You got the Pirates and the Cubs in Chicago. Those used to be fun games to watch. I remember turning to like WGN, and Chicago would have the game, and they'd be hosting the Pirates. And I always liked, we just talked about it, the passing of Ryan Sandberg of the Cubs. I always enjoyed watching him as a kid. But the Pirates are in Chicago this afternoon. Then tonight at 6:40, Reds and Brewers, Nationals and Phillies. Blue Jays, Rangers, Mets will take on the Mariners. Guardians and Braves in Cleveland tonight at 7:10. Red Sox will take on the Marlins. Astros and Orioles, Twins, Tigers, Royals, White Sox, Cardinals, Yankees tonight. Rockies, Diamondbacks, A's and the Angels. Dodgers and Padres. Giants taking on the Rays at 10:10 this evening. So that is what's happening in Major League Baseball action. You've got the BMW Championship on the PGA Tour. Robert McIntyre, the head of the pack. He is 8 under. And right behind him, Tommy Fleetwood, who's been playing good golf. At third, it's Scotty Scheffler here as we get into the Friday rounds. He's 4 under. Victor Hovland, Ricky Fowler's up there. Ben Griffin, who's has shown some sparks of talent over the last couple years. Harry Hall and Ludwig Oberg in there as well. So, yeah, that's what we're looking at as they are in taking part in the BMW Championship on the PGA Tour. So, see how things play out here in this second round and through the weekend. All right, coming up on 8 o'clock here this morning, and we got great local programming. We'll continue on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Our third hour will continue on our website, Facebook page, YouTube channel. And we've got Emily Altomare from the Oil Region Alliance joining us. She'll be talking about tourism, talking about some big events that have taken place in the last couple of weeks. And then Mr. Sports will be with us, Bruce Peterson. We'll talk about that first preseason game with the Steelers, also what's been going on with the Pirates. And you got hockey around the corner, college football. So, yeah, a lot of excitement there. Looking forward to catching up with Bruce here later this morning. We mentioned yesterday, but just to recap, a bunch of games here in the NFL. Starting tonight, you got the Falcons and Titans. Again, this is preseason action. Seahawks and Chiefs at 10 o'clock. You've got on Saturday the Texans and Panthers at 1. Eagles and Browns at 1. Vikings and Patriots at 1. Colts taking on the Packers. Lions and Dolphins. Raiders and 49ers. Saturday night, the Steelers and Buccaneers in Pittsburgh. Giants have the Jets. Rams and Chargers. Cowboys and Ravens this weekend. Broncos and Cardinals. Then on Sunday, the Saints take on the Jaguars, Bears and Bills. And Monday, it's the Commanders and the Bengals in Washington, 8 o'clock on ESPN. Again, preseason football, but it's here. So you get a chance to see maybe some of the guys that were drafted, maybe guys you've been waiting to see. And, yeah, looking forward to it. I wish Will Howard didn't injure himself a few weeks back. I would love to see how he plays. I don't know. We'll get Bruce's take on all of that and see if maybe he's on the fast track. Maybe he can get out there for that third preseason game. Probably not, but I don't know. You never know. So looking forward to that. Ready for the weekend?
Sure.
You got all the plans laid out? Do you know what we're doing?
Mm-hmm. I do. You all right over there?
Yeah. Just cleaning up my mess. The week has caught up to me here, so I'm...
The last 2 weeks have caught
up to me?
Yeah.
Or us?
To us.
I'm getting there. The sprain is a pain, but it's... I think it's healing. Getting better, right?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, you're chancing it today. No
support, no
wrap.
brace, no wrap. I've been walking better. You know what? I was doing really well, and then like late last night, it started to catch up with me a little bit. Like it maybe overdid it.
Oh.
Because it started to stiffen up a little bit, but
yeah.
Listen, it was a stupid injury. Everybody's expecting a great story.
Yeah.
And there's really no great story with it.
No.
But I was, I was stretching it a little bit last night as our son was out playing at an open mic, and he looked up at me as I was like doing just a practice golf swing.
Yeah.
And his eyes got really big, and he was very excited. So I'm like, oh man, I don't know. Like I could go out, I could probably putt, maybe. See, I don't know. It's like you. I always not complain. I always joke with you about you being competitive.
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I'd like to go out and say, hey, I'm not going to move this foot. I'm not, I'll just kind of do a little chip shot or something. It's going to get competitive, and then I'm going to hurt myself again.
Yeah.
So.
We could be responsible and finish things that need finished.
We could do that too. You mean around the house?
Yeah.
Or around?
Both.
Both. Okay. We should be responsible.
We should.
So our next week's it, right? The summer vacation comes to an end next week for the kids
All
around here.
Yeah.
Again, I mentioned I saw starting beginning of this week, friends, especially in the South, they always go back to school a week or two earlier than the kids up here.
Yeah.
So if your kids, if you're watching in another state and your kid's in school, hope that's going well for you. Our kids got one more week of summer vacation before.
It's so weird. It went really fast.
This, I think, was the fastest summer.
Yeah.
And I know we say that every summer, but I think this was the fastest summer.
I know our oldest is entering into his senior year of college, and that 4 years.
Crazy.
I can't.
Crazy.
Yikes.
Well, again, around here, at least weather-wise, going to be a great weekend, so get out and enjoy it. Hope you have a wonderful weekend, and we look forward to seeing everybody back here Monday morning for the morning drill.
Thanks for starting your day with us on the morning drill. Can we try to squeeze the name of the show in one more time? Shut up. Yes, we can, and now we will. It's the morning.
We've got to meet fire with fire. And we've got to be held to a higher level of accountability. So that's what this is about. It's not complicated. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats. But this is the difference. This is the difference between what's happening in Texas and what's happening here in California. We didn't receive a phone call from the president of the United States to then quietly go in the back room and start drawing maps and legislatively try to jam them through against the consent of the people. We're doing precisely the opposite. We're working through a very transparent, temporary, and public process. We're putting the maps on the ballot, and we're giving the power to the people. This will be the first redistricting that's ever done that. That's the difference. We'll be asking for the people on November 4th, a special election, coinciding with a lot of local municipal elections, to provide a temporary pathway for congressional maps. We will affirm our commitment to the state independent redistricting after the 2030 census, but we're asking the voters for their consent to do midterm redistricting in 2026, 2028, and 2030 for the congressional maps to respond to what's happening in Texas, to respond what Trump is trying to excite.
For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate, 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated, we're Triple M Roofing.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh, me. Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm.
Okay. All right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you. Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Wall Street's main indexes finished essentially flat Thursday, but the S&P 500 edged up to hit its third straight record closing high. It followed a report from the Labor Department that showed producer price inflation increased the most in 3 years. That dampened expectations of potential interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. Recent data reflecting labor market weakness and a moderate rise in consumer prices had strengthened expectations that the central bank could lower interest rates next month. Traders are still fully pricing in a 0.25 percentage point cut in September, but are less certain on the path beyond that. Dean Smith, chief strategist and portfolio manager with Folio Beyond, blames the jump in prices on President Donald Trump's trade policies.
I think we're really starting to see the effects of the tariffs push their way through the supply chains. And this is going to continue, in my view. We're just at the starting point of this race, and the impact of the tariffs are going to be with us for quite a while. So get used to seeing higher inflation prints.
Stocks on the move included Deere. The farm equipment company's shares fell nearly 7% after it reported a lower quarterly profit and tightened its annual profit forecast. And shares of Tapestry plunged close to 16% after the Coach handbag maker forecast annual profit below estimates. Both companies warned of tariffs impacting their businesses.
First of all, welcome to the ribbon cutting of the Oil Region National Heritage Area Gateway Sculpture.
Why are they all over there?
Who all over where? You guys can come closer. First of all, I want to give a shout out to several people. We all, if you don't walk away from this as friends, then it's your own fault because...
this is playing in the background here. We welcome Emily Altomare to the program. Emily, good morning. Good to see you this morning. It's John Phillips from the Oil Region Alliance, and you're going to talk about a great event that took place a few weeks back.
Yeah, and doesn't that feel like it was a really long time ago?
Yes, it does, yes.
Yeah, but that just happened towards the end of July, so it's only been a couple weeks, you're right. But we had the ribbon cutting for the new Gateway Sculpture on Route 8, just south of Titusville. So as you're coming from Oil City and Franklin, you can be greeted by that amazing piece of art done by Adam Stemka, who's an artist out of Erie. We're so thrilled with how it turned out, and so pleased to finally have this project in place. And so the ribbon cutting was definitely a celebration of what was months and months and months of kind of some back and forth and stops and starts until we finally got everything lined up. And once Adam was selected from our judges through a national search, we were really pleased with his idea and his design from the get-go, and really what he presented to us on paper last fall is very similar to what is there today. So again, just super excited, have had really great feedback from the community. Yeah, exciting stuff.
Yeah, congratulations. And maybe you could just kind of talk about the process, because it wasn't just like, okay, you selected somebody and then they did it. I mean, there's a lot of... So,
yeah, there's a lot before that.
There's a lot before
the
that.
finding part.
That's a good point. And the other thing I want to ask you is, for the community, we get to enjoy it for those coming in. But for the artist, who you said is from Erie, I'm sure had an idea, heard of, what, some of our history is, but it's also a learning process.
Absolutely.
For him as well.
Yeah. So Adam definitely did his research and got to learn more about the area. I think he's really got a soft spot now for the oil region and a fondness for it. This is the kind of project he had been excited about doing for a long time. And he's also got some other very different sculptures and, gateways and public art projects that he's been in the process of. So you'll see his work in Erie, you'll see his work in Waterford, but we have this piece by him. We're just really excited with how it all turned out. He was great to work with. He installed the sculpture on site. So he made the pieces in his studio, brought them here on a flatbed trailer, and then with a lot of help from Public Works from the city of Titusville, who were amazing partners from the very beginning in getting things together, set it up. So it was like, not cranes, but big pieces of equipment holding it in place, and then Adam was actually welding it on site. And again, like every other day this summer, an incredibly hot day, and he's got the mask and the gloves and the torch. And it was really only a few hours once they got to site, because again, City of Titusville and Public Works had done a lot of prepping of this site and laying a foundation and moving conduits. So we'll eventually be able to get it lighted. So you'll be able to see it better at night too, not just during daylight hours.
Nice.
It was...
Congratulations.
Well, thank you so much, and thank you, Luke, for being there to capture it for us too, because we really appreciate that.
It was awesome. It really was. And the thing is, just to walk around it, you get to see some other details you might miss if you're just driving past.
So we definitely want folks to, as you have time, like pull over into the gate or the replica gas station there, where you can safely park your car and walk over, but definitely get up close to it and see those details, because there's it's not just the kind of derrick pumping jack structure. There's the silhouettes of the outdoor recreation and the trees and clouds and hills, and so there's a lot of references to our heritage. And also, the present day in terms of outdoor recreation, our natural beauty, but then going back to the heritage. And of course, we know that those are interlinked here and will be forever. And that sculpture is going to stay in place. It's going to take a lot to to move that. And it's also made to weather well. It will only get better with age and more interesting as far as the surface and the texture. So we're just so excited, so pleased with Adam. Couldn't have asked for a better partner. We had a lot of funding from the DCNR, and there's a little sign out there now, and we'll replace that with a more permanent sign that'll spell out all those donors and partners. But definitely so pleased with how that project turned out, and encourage everybody to check that out in their own time.
I think something I learned during the process, the funding, something happened where you had to do something else which cost a little bit, and he worked with you and adjusted some of the costs.
Part of the security and stability of that piece is that there is a ton of rebar under it. So it's it's not just welded and kind of sitting or like kind of like, it's not like stapled onto that concrete. It is very
It's not going anywhere.
attached. Yeah. So Adam was great to work with on that too. And again, the city of Titusville and the Public Works Department were so helpful, and they were so excited. So it was fun to, be talking about the art with those guys as well. So Scott and Norm and everybody, we couldn't have done it without them and appreciate them so much.
Yeah. How many people submitted something?
We had 9 submissions.
Wow.
And this was after a few kind of false starts and stops where we had started to work with an artist but hadn't quite gotten to a contract standpoint or gotten a contract signed. So that's part of why it sort of got pushed along. But we finally, when we opened it up nationally and used some connections with like the Erie art scene and the Arts Oil City group to be able to connect to basically like a national register of artists. And we did get submissions from artists in, I think, California and Texas, as well as a little closer to home. But so we had those 9 submissions, but Adams was definitely the one that like got the idea the best. That's what we're going for. And the fact that he was, close enough to consider local, not like local, but he's like, I think, born and bred Erie area. So definitely, a Northwest PA guy.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that made it even better.
That's wonderful. Well, congratulations. It's a lot of work, isn't it?
It absolutely is. And Abby Popescu in our office was leading the charge and dealing with a lot there. But it really came together, and we're excited and looking forward to more types of projects like that the public can point to and really like take that sense of pride in being part of the Oil Region National Heritage Area.
Right. Yes.
We want people, it's easier when you can say like, well, that's what we're about.
Yeah, see, I walk in the grocery store, people point and stare, and they're like, turn their head. Like they'll tell their kids, like, don't look away. So
Luke is also a piece of our history and our heritage and a point of community pride.
I'll be oil someday.
We all will. It's okay.
Can you believe like summer's just... This has to be like the fastest summer ever.
But the thing that helps is it has been hot the entire time. Like when you first started showing clips of the ribbon cutting, my first thought was just, I'm so glad I'm not as hot right now as I was standing there when we were filming that. So that helps, right? Because it's been very summery weather, so we feel like it's been summer the whole time. But yeah, like Oil Fest was last weekend. Oil Heritage is already done. This weekend is Bridge Fest and Rockin' River. So those are 2 great opportunities to kind of party on the Allegheny River in the Oil region, as well as French Creek, and Oil Creek. So get out on the waterways, and in these cases, like Bridge Fest is on bridges, and they are back on the bridge this year. So check out those schedules for tonight and tomorrow night. A lot of fun stuff for families. Great, like kind of date night, adult time stuff to get out and enjoy. To just great excuses to be out in our area and celebrate the fact that we do have a little bit of summer and a little bit of warm weather left, because nobody gets to complain then when it's cold.
I'm ready to ski, so no.
Oh, you just want to ski?
I do, yeah. Which I'm concerned with my ankle,
as we're learning off air that Luke's got an ankle issue, so we'll work that out.
Okay,
we'll fix it.
What do you sit and like evaluate summer or tourism, or is it really still, because it's still busy through the fall? I mean, fall, obviously it picks up in fall.
Sometimes things pick up in fall. So it's one of those things where you want to say that the like festivals kind of slow down in the fall, but kind of not really. And this year, well, I forgot to mention the marathon is also Sunday in the Drakewell Marathon. So it's another thing. So you're out in the river and then you're out running in the woods. The festivals do kind of slow down, but not really. So we've got a new one coming up in Oil City the weekend of September 12th, like the 12th and 13th, is the inaugural Allegheny River Music and Arts Festival. So that is going to be all forms of art, from literary stuff that the Bridge Lit Center is putting on to performances like plays through the community playhouse, live music, lots of folks you already know like Joe Thompson, but some new fun acts coming in as well. Jamie Bastillo will be performing opera at one point. Wow. There's like an electronic music portion, like, so these are performances that are going to be not only in Justice Park in Oil City, but also other locations on the north and south sides. And there will be vendors in the park and on the street and artist exhibits in, like Tag and Mac and all those great places that you're used to going to for exhibits and galleries and shopping in Oil City. So plus food trucks, so nobody goes hungry. So all of that is going to be happening in Oil City for their inaugural Allegheny River Music and Arts Fest. The ARMF is what we call it in my head, the acronym. But then there will also be shuttles to take you down to Franklin, because that same weekend we are hosting a national fishing tournament, which is the Kayak Adventure Series. They just wrapped up their last non-finale competition last weekend. So then the very last stop, the finals, are going to be based out of Franklin. There are a lot of events to kind of gather the anglers in the competition and their friends and families to celebrate and learn. So they're going to get exposed to, again, all that history and heritage of the oil region, but they're also going to learn some fishing techniques, connect with amazing vendors like GoPro, and again, lots of other less known to me, brands in kayak and fishing gear and all of that good stuff. They'll be having Bass U, like a university class, lecture or seminar Friday morning that will be at the Barrow, and then we'll be back at the Barrow that Saturday night for the final ceremony. But lots of time to hang out and have fellowship with the fellow anglers that weekend, and friends and family, not only of the anglers, but of, just locals, are welcome to come and hang out and enjoy. We're going to have a little festive atmosphere Saturday afternoon. So again, those shuttles will be running so you can really hit both things. The same way we want people to make sure they're getting to both Bridgefest and Rock and River this weekend. Excellent. So that'll be coming up in a month. Wow. So when you look at it like that, it does just go by so fast. And then it's
Cranberry Festival.
Yes, also that same weekend. Yeah, and then it will seem, like right after that. It's actually a couple weeks later. But then you've got Apple Fest, you've got Pit Hole Lantern Tours, which those tickets go on sale September 1st. So that's coming right up and sell out. So we encourage everybody to get those. I love explaining Pit Hole Lantern Tours to people and encouraging local people who have not gone to go. It's such a great way to kind of absorb some of those stories. And then that makes it great to be able to tell it to others when they're like, well, why do I want to visit, or what is this important? Listen to this, this really happened. And they're like, oh, that is very interesting.
Well, so one of my favorite parts of the whole thing is just you're outside, right? But it's dark, and it is really dark, and you're being guided by these lanterns, right? And great
it's
acting.
Smoky.
And it's really creepy, and it's October, so it fits in with the whole fall Halloween season.
Right, and you and I are on two very different sides of the I want to be scared line. So I am not a fan of that. I am not a horror movie person. So while it is kind of creepy and spooky, it is definitely not like a Halloween, nobody's jumping out with chainsaws, no one's bloody.
Not yet.
So stop that. But so, I mean, you do not have to be a pro-Halloween person to enjoy. Trust me, and I say this with a lot of love, the nerdy, dorky historians who just want to go and learn will also feel very safe and secure and really enjoy themselves.
And they're the first ones to usually go in the movies. So.
And I love that you had the camera on me, not on you and your devilish face.
That's right.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not a Halloween spooky thing. But if you like a Halloween spooky, you can certainly get out there. And, there will be owl sounds and a little twig that snaps in the woods just outside of the light, and you can build it up for yourself in that way if you want. But that is not the event is not made to be scary, and it's actually fairly family friendly, more about if your kids can handle the late night and the walking more so than the information being relayed.
What it does, though, I think it really just brings the focus in, and it really makes you think of especially if you go through the museum and you see the map and everything, you go, oh,
the diorama.
Oh my gosh, this is what used to be here. We're walking on these streets, and when it's pitch black, it's easier, I think, to focus and see that stuff. And again, I've been with groups where people are from Erie or a large city, and they're looking up in the sky going, oh my God, look, you can see the stars. It's beautiful out here.
If you're used to even a little bit of light pollution, it's going to be a bit unnerving to be out there because it really is that cool. Dark. Yeah, it's very cool. And there's still a couple weekends left where Pit Hole is open Saturdays and Sundays 10 to 4, where you can go out. There's $5 admission fee, but you can see the visitor center, check that out, and then walk the grounds and learn more too. But yeah, definitely keep that weekend for lantern tours in mind. You can also go to Drakewell for their oil boom dinner the evening of September 25th. Tickets are on sale now. I believe they're $75. But that will be a full meal, and I think you get a drink or two complimentary from Before the Barrel as part of your ticket. And then we're going to have some reenactors there as well, talking about the oil history, and kind of they're going to connect back because the theme of that dinner is actually recipes from the oil boom era. So some of the people who will be reenacting will be portraying the same people whose recipes were in the cookbook that we're using to base the menu on. So that'll be a really fun special event. So if you're any kind of like foodie, historian, just want, kind of an interesting new night out, there are a limited number of tickets. So definitely check out Drakewell's website and order those right away. Likewise.
Let's do this real quick.
Okay.
You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Emily Altomare with us here this morning from the Oil Region Alliance. Farm to Fork?
Thanks. Yes, so Farm to Fork tickets are on sale now, too. That'll be September 20th, but tickets are on sale. You can find that from Titusville Renaissance's Facebook page. And it's Crawford Gives, Luke. If everybody who can donate hasn't donated yet, you have till midnight tonight. And there are a ton of wonderful organizations throughout Crawford County that do so much to make our, quality of life so much better here and take care of others, whether it's kids, the elderly, pets, our communities, public art, which is what Titusville Renaissance is fundraising for. But the Oil Region Alliance is fundraising for the Tarbell House, which is in need of a little care after what has been 10 years since it was fully refurbished. So it's definitely time for some paint and repair. So that's what the Oil Region Alliance is fundraising for during Crawford Gives, donations to help repair and repaint the exterior of the Tarbell House. So if you haven't already, you've got a little extra money to give, and every bit helps. And I do encourage folks that are donating with a credit card to also pay those credit card fees. It's just a little addition to what you pay, but it really takes the burden off of the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation, which is the one who's running this amazing event that raises a ton of money and matches money to give back into our community. So please check that out if you're able to give anything.
Excellent.
Yeah, see, now we don't have anything else to talk about.
Oh.
There's always more to talk about, but
I just think you list all these great events that are continuing into the fall. Are people surprised when you say, hey, here's everything coming up? When I'm sure you've encountered people like, summer's over, right? Festival season, fairs, all that stuff's coming.
I think we've been pretty good about knowing that it stretches, and I think.
And the weather's usually the last several years. September's been a really nice month.
Yeah, well, even the second week of October is usually gorgeous. It might get cold by the time it gets dark, but it's a beautiful day, peak leaf peeping. So yeah, I don't think people are as surprised. And there's some talk about wanting to get some ATV events and stuff going on in the winter that doesn't have to be snow dependent, but also isn't the kind of stuff you do during the spring, summer, and fall.
Yeah.
So then we'll really have a steady stream of events, activities, guests coming in for all that stuff. But for now, just having as much as early as we start in the spring to get everything in when we do need the good weather and, dry-ish, non-frozen ground to run on or have people out and about and experiencing art and culture. Then we're ready to take a little tiny break, but it's really just the holidays, and then you're back at it. And the folks that take pride in Titusville, and people who do the light up night in Franklin and Christmas past, they don't get that break because they are out there, stringing Christmas lights and helping Santa get where he needs to be.
Yeah.
So it kind of never stops. It does slow down a tiny bit,
but it just kind of changes. Yeah. It's just great because I can't think of one time of the year where it's actually slow for some. I mean, there's something all the time, which is fantastic.
It really is.
And I think when people come in and visit or take part in these events and they're from out of town, and they go, oh my gosh, no offense, I wasn't expecting all this stuff to be happening, and they end up staying another day, or they say, hey, we're coming back next year for this event. We're going to stay longer. We're going to bring the family up. There's a lot to discover around here.
Absolutely, yeah. And we're trying to tell people all the time all the different things, but that's okay. We're happy to have them come and see for themselves and then be a little surprised. And like you said, then add on to their trip or come back next year. So
are you jotting things on the calendar for next year now, or do you kind of wait till you get past these fall events and say, okay, let's look at 2026?
Even while the event is happening, you're saying to yourself, or you're writing down, for a National Trails Day this year, there was a notepad. I was like, when you think of something we need to do for next year, whether it's a correction or an addition, write it down. And you're constantly kind of editing the event as it's happening.
Wow.
But
good stuff.
Yeah,
good
great stuff. Lots going on.
Well, if folks want to follow you, learn more, what's the best way to reach you?
You can find us on Facebook at the Oil Region Alliance. You can always email me directly at ealtomare@oilregion.org. We've got experiencetheoilregion.com, which is a great website that features a lot of different events as they're coming up, but has a ton of great background material. 217 Elm Street, Oil City, 814-677-3152.
Good stuff. Good to see you. Thanks.
Luke.
Take care.
To meet fire with fire. And we've got to be held to a higher level of accountability. So that's what this is about. It's not complicated. We're doing this in reaction to a president of the United States that called a sitting governor of the state of Texas and said, find me 5 seats. But this is the difference. This is the difference between what's happening in Texas and what's happening here in California. We didn't receive a phone call from the president of the United States to then quietly go in the back room and start drawing maps and legislatively try to jam them through against the consent of the people. We're doing precisely the opposite. We're working through a very transparent, temporary, and public process. We're putting the maps on the ballot, and we're giving the power to the people. This will be the first redistricting that's ever done that. That's the difference. We'll be asking for the people on November 4th, a special election, coinciding with a lot of local municipal elections, to provide a temporary pathway for congressional maps. We will affirm our commitment to the state independent redistricting after the 2030 census, but we're asking the voters for their consent to do midterm redistricting in 2026, 2028, and 2030 for the congressional maps, to respond to what's happening in Texas, to respond what Trump is trying to excite.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Rayan Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
Wall Street's main indexes finished essentially flat Thursday, but the S&P 500 edged up to hit its third straight record closing high. It followed a report from the Labor Department that showed producer price inflation increased the most in 3 years. That dampened expectations of potential interest rate cuts from the Federal Reserve. Recent data reflecting labor market weakness and a moderate rise in consumer prices had strengthened expectations that the central bank could lower interest rates next month. Traders are still fully pricing in a 0.25 percentage point cut in September, but are less certain on the path beyond that. Dean Smith, chief strategist and portfolio manager with Folio Beyond, blames the jump in prices on President Donald Trump's trade policies.
I think we're really starting to see the effects of the tariffs push their way through the supply chains. And this is going to continue, in my view. We're just at the starting point of this race, and the impact of the tariffs are going to be with us for quite a while. So get used to seeing higher inflation prints.
Stocks on the move included Deere. The farm equipment company's shares fell nearly 7% after it reported a lower quarterly profit and tightened its annual profit forecast. And shares of Tapestry plunged close to 16% after the Coach handbag maker forecast annual profit below estimates. Both companies warned of tariffs impacting their businesses.
All right, that forecast for Northwest Pennsylvania. Beautiful Friday here. Plenty of sunshine. Temperatures in the upper 80s. Clear this evening, then becoming foggy and damp after midnight. Lows in the low 60s. Saturday, mostly sunny, upper 80s. Sunday, isolated thunderstorms, low 80s. Monday, partly cloudy, low 80s. Tuesday, showers and temperatures in the upper 70s. Meadville's at 64 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 63. Titusville, 63. Franklin, 59. Oil City, 59 degrees here at 8:38. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. With us this morning is Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson. Hi, Bruce.
In the flesh.
In
the flesh.
Yes.
Although this winter I will be in via Zoom.
In flannel.
In flannel. In my jammies.
Well, where would you like to start this morning?
Well, we're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers. We're going to talk about Cam Hayward and Bosworth, the kicker.
Okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk about these contracts.
Uh-oh.
In fact, let's begin there.
Okay.
We'll start with the kicker. He wants a new contract. However, when he signed his contract in 2022, it was tied for the best contract in the NFL. But within 2 years or 3 years, other kickers have signed contracts, and now he's down the list away, and he wants more money on his 4-year contract. And the question is, should we give him more money? Really? I mean, you signed a contract. It was a top shelf contract when we signed you in 2022. Nobody was making more money than you. And now, being that people have renegotiated or got new contracts and you're not at the top, should we give you more money now before your contract's up?
Can I ask you a question? Is this stemming off of other kickers getting more, or is this
other kickers getting more?
Okay, they're not looking at what T.J. Watt got.
No, they're looking at other kicker. He's comparing himself to other kickers. He was at the top of the heap. Now he's down a ways.
And I'm not saying he wants T.J. Watt money, but I'm just saying it's like, well, if the Steelers can, if they're going to dish out this money for what, maybe I could get some.
Yeah, exactly. And then if you go to Cam Hayward. All right, he signed a new contract last year.
Oh. Now, apparently, he
apparently said to him, if I have an all-pro year, I'm going to come back for more money. And I guess they giggled, as he said. They giggled, which I don't think they even thought about giving him more money. But he's saying now, hey,
Oh, man. And the look isn't good, right? Because he's a team captain and...
I'll tell you, he's really tarnished himself in front of the fans. I've been reading the blogs, and their fans are pretty upset. It's not. I mean, he's the second highest player on the team, second highest paid player on the team. So he's not getting chump change. So the point is, and I don't think the Steelers are happy about this at all. Now, they're not going to say anything because that's not their way. They'll keep this very close to the vest. But I'm sure inside they're steaming because they gave him $10 million last year signing bonus when he signed the new contract. $10 million. And he's getting $29 million a year, which is not chump change.
What's he asking for?
Who knows? He's not saying. So.
Wow. This has to drive the coaches nuts, right? Because you're coming into the season, you're trying to get all your pieces into place, and now you got somebody that wants to play chess a couple weeks out from the start of the season.
Yeah. Now, they don't have to do anything with either player, and they may not do anything. I don't know. A lot of people think that they will give him some kind of a bump because he got his roster bonus in March at the beginning of the NFL season, and he only gets like $1.5 million this year during the season. I mean, $1.5 million, just so you know. Right. And he got paid, I think, in March he got like 13-something million up front. So, I mean, he doesn't have to worry about the wolf at the door. He's okay. His kids are going to go to college and it's going to be paid for and all that stuff, And he's made $131 million since he's been with the Steelers. $131 million. Watt's only made $120. So
So are they going to sit out, or will they come to their senses?
Well, they're what they call a play-in. They're there, but they're just not doing as much stuff as the other. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
See, that's stuff I don't understand. Like, we're going to sit out if we don't get the money. Well, yeah, but you have a contract.
Exactly. That's the point. Yeah. That's the whole point of what I'm saying. There is a contract that you signed in good faith. And now it's not enough. Well, I don't know. The Steelers, I'm thinking this is what they're thinking. Well, if we start doing this, then other players are going to come to us and they're going to want more money. When's it going to stop?
Yeah.
You know, maybe we need to nip this in the bud and say, hey, you signed a contract. This is it.
And you're also talking about a guy, I love him, but he's on the other side of, age here where it's like
36.
Okay.
And Boswell is 31. Neither one of them are spring chickens.
No, but Boswell's still. I mean, they're both good.
Yeah, they're good players. That's not at dispute.
Yeah.
But it's this.
Did any of it have to do with the situation with Tucker, where because everybody talked about what a great kicker Tucker was, and blah blah blah. Now he's out, and Boswell's the guy. Well, I don't know. You see that preseason game last week? That kid with the Jaguars kicked a 70-yard field goal.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'd be like,
and it wasn't by just a few inches. It was at the back of the end line.
Yeah. Now is that going to happen in snowy, rainy,
no,
windy conditions?
No, it's not. And it's preseason. There's no pressure. All right.
Right.
There's no pressure.
Yeah.
Whether you kick it or not, it's no big deal. It's preseason. So I don't know. It's. I think it bothers the fans, the people that pay. Look, let's be honest. When I started going to Steeler games back in the 80s, tickets were $36. In the 80s, and even into the 90s, like maybe get up to $45, but the ticket that I paid $45 for in the 90s now is over $200. And I had a end zone upper deck seat. I mean, seats on the sidelines are into the thousands.
Well, yeah, I mean, colleges, you're paying
Penn State.
Maintenance fees or licensing fees.
You got to pay a seat license, and then you got to buy the ticket. Yeah, you got to buy a seat license. In some places, you have to buy it every year. I mean, I don't know.
Could you imagine that person in that meeting that came up with that? Somebody had to somewhere say, hey, the thing we could do here.
Yeah, let's do the seat license. Yeah, that's more money. Yeah. It's never what's good for the fans. They seem to get left out of the whole equation,
Well, I think the opposite. I think they're thinking this would be the more revenue we bring in, the better experience, the better this, the better that. Of course, we're making money, but we can say we're doing all this stuff.
I think the teams are living big. I mean, the Penn State's $700 million to refurbish their stadium. Let me repeat that. $700 million to refurbish their stadium. Now, I don't have a problem with that. It's all booster money. It's not coming from the state. It's not coming from the ticket holders. It's booster money. It's contributions. I don't have a problem with that. But still...
But now you're talking about paying players.
Well, yeah, you got NIL contracts now. So, yeah, you got salaries. Last year, the salary structure for Texas was $41 million for NIL contracts. And where do you think that's going to be in a few years? Ohio State was $38 million. Penn State was $29 million. That's only going to go up. The only good thing about that is now players are staying in college to finish their careers and not going to the pros if they're in a position where they might not make it. So you can actually make more money now finishing college than going to the pro.
Getting like a rookie contract.
Yeah, especially second, third, or fourth string contract. You're not going to make much, and you're not going to be assured of being on the team.
Wow.
So I don't know what the answer is. There probably isn't an answer, but...
I know it's kind of weird after COVID when you had, that guy in, his mid-20s, upper 20s still in college playing.
Exactly.
But,
yeah, well...
Here's so-and-so, finally a senior this year. 29.
Yeah. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how Pittsburgh handles this. I know they're not happy. And I know Cam's came out and he publicly addressed this. And he does not have fan support. He does not. I mean, I've been reading the blogs, and fans are pretty upset. And they feel the same way as we do. He's got a contract. He's got a signed contract. All right? And it's not that they were trying to stiff him when he signed the original contract. They gave him good money. Second highest player on the team, behind T.J. Watt, who's a superstar. So, I don't know.
Well, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah, we will. Well, I've been kind of checking out the sites that make predictions, the predictive sites about the NFL teams this year and how they're going to do. And there's a lot of sites, they put out what they think each team, what their win number is going to be and where they are going to be in the hierarchy and if they're going to be in the playoffs or whatever. And it's really interesting this year that the people that are in the business of analyzing don't think a lot of the Steelers. The win totals for the season, they run anywhere from 5 to 8 wins.
5?
5 to 8 wins. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what people are saying. And I think if you look at the division itself, Baltimore's at the top, Cleveland's at the bottom, and then you got Cincinnati and Pittsburgh in the middle. So who's going to be better? There seems to be more love for Burrow in Cincinnati than there is for Rodgers in Pittsburgh. And I'll tell you, there's not very high regard for Rodgers as quarterback among the people that analyze, how the NFL is going to do this year. They're concerned about his age, and he didn't do that well last year with the Jets, and they think.
So that's interesting, Bruce. When you look at his numbers, he had solid numbers.
I know.
Now,
better than they had in Pittsburgh. Better than the Pittsburgh quarterbacks had. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. And if you look at Pittsburgh this year, just to talk a little bit about the team, I think the strength of the team is the defense. I think Cam Hayward will play, but if you look at that defense, they are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're probably a top 5 defense, maybe top 3.
I know. Here's the other thing about last week, Bruce. I know Sanders got a ton of attention, but I thought Skylar Thompson put up better numbers than Sanders. Again, I realize it's
Who do you mean by Sanders? Oh, you mean
in Cleveland?
Yeah, I agree.
That's really. I know that's a separate conversation to have, but I was just kind of surprised at how much attention he got versus.
Well, he's a name. His father is the coach of Colorado. His father is one of the best-known figures around. I mean, the players for Pittsburgh, Skylar Thompson's an unknown. So, but he played really well.
Yeah.
I mean, he played really well.
Mason looked. Again, I know it's preseason, but
yeah, I understand that, and I say that they're not playing for marbles. They're marbles. They're playing. This is practice. And you can't read a whole lot into this. I remember the year that Pickett scored a touchdown in the preseason. Every drive they were in, he scored a touchdown. And everybody thought, oh, man, this is wonderful. This is great. Then the season started. Then they started playing real football. Then he wasn't so good. That's the point. This is practice football. Practice. But
it's fun to watch.
Well, yeah, right. But they didn't play anybody last week. They're not going to play anybody this week.
Right. And I don't know if you've heard any updates on Will Howard. I don't know if he'll get in that third game or not. But
I don't know. If Thompson keeps playing well, he's probably going to wind up on the injured reserve list.
Ugh. Let's do this real quick, Bruce. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Mr. Sports, Bruce Peterson with us here this morning.
So, yeah, I mean, it's tough for him having that broken finger. He's not getting reps in camp. Camp's over now. Camp was over Tuesday. So he hasn't had any reps during camp at all.
Ugh.
And so he's going to go through the preseason. He might play in the last game, maybe. We don't know. If he doesn't, there's no way they're going to keep him on the roster to be the third-string quarterback. He's not. And I don't think they want to lose him. So you can put somebody on the long-term injury list for a hangnail in the NFL. There's really not much restrictions. And I think that's probably because they don't want to lose him. I think they want to see what they got.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Skylar Thompson, who made a name for himself. And he's going to play. And they're not going to play the top players this week either.
Right.
I don't think we're going to see a lot of the starters until the season starts.
Well, I'm okay with that. I would rather use this time to see some of these other guys.
Yeah. I still think they need a little bit of time. I think they need at least a series in each game or something like that. But God, they were talking online about this, and they were saying that in the old days they're doing 2-a-days in pads in training camp, 2-a-days in pads every day. I mean, wow. It's a different NFL. It's a real different NFL. A lot of people are questioning the toughness of today's players. Now, I'm not. I think they're pretty tough. And when you see them hit each other in the field, they're pretty tough. I mean, none of us could stand up to what what their bodies have to put up with. So, it's easy to be critical. And football is a very violent sport, although not near as violent as it used to be. They've taken a lot of the violence out of the sport. I remember some hits. I remember a James Harrison hit of Colt McCoy, who was playing for Cleveland at the time, and he ventured around the end. He was going to see if he wanted to pass or run. James Harrison hit him. Oh my God, did he hit him? He just crumpled up on the crowd, and they carried him off the field. Now, you're not allowed to do that anymore. That's no. But back then, it was okay.
Maybe a little game of patty cake before a tackle.
Yeah, exactly. Patty cake, bakers, man. Bake me, whatever.
Anything else?
Well, they held a joint practice with Tampa Bay yesterday. They're going to play Tampa Bay this weekend. So Tampa Bay is still Pittsburgh. They may have another joint workout today. And the players like that because you're playing against someone else.
Yeah.
They get tired of practicing against each other, and I get that. So when somebody comes in from the outside, hey, the bad guy, the enemy, they like that. But and then of course there's a game this Saturday. There's a game the following Thursday, which is Carolina down there, and then there's 15 days until the season starts.
Wow.
Yeah, over 2 weeks.
It's always nerve-wracking, that weekend of, who's making the roster, who's getting cut.
Yes. Now, I think we know pretty much who's going to be on the roster, but there are some defensive back positions and some wide receiver positions that could change.
I know there's been past years, I don't know, maybe the last couple, Bruce, where there's been a couple guys I've been kind of looking at saying, okay, yeah, I'm interested in following what happens with them. And, somebody gets cut, it's like, ooh, okay.
But now you got a 15-person practice squad. So, and they make they make over $100,000. So they make enough money to live. And then if they get brought up off the practice squad, because you can bring each player up 2 times, and play the game and then go back down. And when he comes up, he has to make NFL money. All right? So that's a good thing.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. College football. Anything there?
I was going to go over the AP poll. We went over the coaches poll last week.
Yeah.
The AP is similar. Penn State was number 3 in the coaches poll. They're number 2 in the AP.
Okay.
So, in fact, them and Ohio State switched. I'm going to read down through it. Texas, of course, is number 1. Penn State's 2. Ohio State's 3. Clemson jumped up from number 6 in the coaches to number 3 in the AP. 5 is Georgia. They were in the top 5 before. 6 is Notre Dame. 7 is Oregon. 8 is Alabama. 9 is LSU. Miami is 10th. Then you go down Arizona State, Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan. Michigan dropped quite a bit from the coaches to the AP. Then there's Florida, SMU, Kansas State, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, Indiana, Ole Miss, Iowa State, Texas Tech, Tennessee, and Boise State. Now, this is just the initial thought. These will change big time. And those top teams, if they happen to lose a game early, well, probably drop out of the top 10.
Yeah. Well, especially if you are easing into your schedule and you've got some easy teams, if you probably lose to one of those, you're probably...
Yeah, I think Penn State starts with, Villanova's 3, Florida International's 2, and who's number 1? It's a nobody. Yeah. And then game number 4 is Oregon. So they have three preseason games. Is essentially what they have. They have 3 preseason games, lollipops, and then they play Oregon. And they get a week off before Oregon. And they also get a week off before Ohio State.
Wow.
So the schedule makers have been very nice to Penn State this year in terms of their tough games.
But don't blow it.
Don't blow it. That's right. Don't let down, because there's nothing that these lower level teams like is to come in to the home stadium of a big team and they have a letdown and they beat them. It happens. Not often, but it does happen.
I'm thinking they should rename the Big Ten like the Big Ten Plus.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce, good to see you this morning.
You too. Have a nice weekend. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice again.
Yeah. Fair. Crawford County Fair is coming.
Yeah. Next week, right? Starts
this weekend.
Yeah. Starts Saturday or Sunday. Yeah.
So
and goes through the following Sunday.
Yeah. We'll have to maybe catch up on Pirates next week or.
Yeah, they didn't have a good week. They ran into Milwaukee. Ouch.
Yeah. Thanks, Bruce.